Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please like, share, subscribe, and thank you for tuning in. If you're not new, thank you for tuning in and continuing this journey with me. I appreciate everyone that's watching, sharing, and liking. Stay tuned for more content as well. Today, guys, we're going to be doing a Hello Kitty set. It's just going to be like a simple ombre with like a few Hello Kitty charms. You know, a little razzle dazzle. So before I start, I always like to soak my acrylic brush in some monomer just so it can get full of monomer. And the primer that I'm going to be using is Young Nails primer. I always use that primer. I use no other primer but that. And the acrylic powders that I'm going to be using, the white is going to be by Kathy's Nail Lab. It's her glow in the dark powder. It's the white one. And just gonna prep the brush. I had already prepped the nails before I started recording. I laid the tips, shaped them, prepped the nail beds, put the primer on, and I also did her other hand off camera, so I'm just gonna be recording this hand today. So what I like to do is I like to take a bead of the first color that you're gonna ombre with from the top, and I like to place it a little bit on the nail bed right below where the nail bed and the nail tip meets. And that's just me taking down my swatches. They really irritate me. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm just going to be doing that on each finger. I like to work one color all the way across, the second color all the way across, and then, if you're doing ombre, then you would encapsulate it with the clear. So the video is going to speed up while I do the white. Keep in mind when you're laying your colored acrylic, you want to lay it in a thinner application than what you would layer it in normally, just because you're going to encapsulate with that clear. So it's going to be thicker anyway. You just don't want it to be too thick. So this client in particular likes her acrylic to be a little thicker just because the field of work that she's in. Some clients use their hands more depending on, what they do in everyday life and what they do for a living as well. So this client likes her acrylic a little thicker than it would normally be, which is fine with me. I don't mind at all. Now, this is the part where I apply the second color or the bottom color, and this is just my personal preference of what I like to do. People have their own way, but this is just my way and works best for me. So what I like to do is I like to take a small bead of that pink and line it up with that white right on top of there like that and blend it. Just a little bit, not applying too much pressure. For me, that just makes more of a seamless blend, and you won't be able to see that bottom color that you're using. And then I just take another bead and just, lay that where the cuticle is, not letting it flood. And then you want to make sure that you're cleaning your edges. Always clean your edges. And you want to pat that in there. That also makes for a better blend. And you're not going to be perfect with this. Sometimes I grab too much of a bead where I have to wipe some off, and that's okay. We're all human, and you just be the best you that you can be. Don't try to compete with anybody else, because you're not them and they're not you. So you just be the best that you can be. And just do this in whatever way works best for you. Long as you're being sanitary and all of that. I just believe that whatever way works best for you, that's efficient, just do it. Go for it. And you're just gonna take a little tiny bead, and wherever spot that you still see that natural nail bed, cover that up. because it's going to cause lifting. Make sure you always wipe your brush. Always wipe your brush off. There's never too much wiping off that you can do. You just want to make sure that brush is clean. Just always dip it back into your monomer. And occasionally you're going to mess up just like this nail right there. Boom. You see how I didn't lay that over that white correctly and the bead was a little too watery? That's okay. Easy fix. Grab a thicker bead, push it to the cuticle, and just blend. And if you need to cover it up some more, just do that. Now this is the thumb. And you're going to hear my chunky man's breathing in the back. It's okay. I'm a working mama. You got to do what you got to do for them babies. So I'm just blending that in to the thumb. That's better. And you can see the other ones in the back look very, very thin. And that's okay. I have not encapsulated everything with that clear yet. Yeah, chunky man's. All right, and now this is the part that I'm going to encapsulate everything with that clear. The clear is to protect the blend, so when you're taking your carbine or, you know, your mandrel bit and you're filing over that with your e-file, you're not going to mess up that blend. You're not going to take away any of the bottom color or any of the top color. It's all still going to be seamless. All right, so while I am encapsulating the rest of the nails, I just want to take this time to thank God for everything that he's done for me. You know, I stated this in the Get to Know Me video that I had posted. You can go back and watch if you like. That this channel and everything that I do in life is to magnify God and just to let everybody know that this is not me. Nothing that I have done is because of me. It's all because of God. My talents, every day, I tell God that, you know, God, my talents that you have given me, I give them back to you. I give my body to you from my head to my feet. I give that to you as a living sacrifice for you to do what you want to do with it and for your will to be done. And I thank you for leading my steps. I thank you for allowing me to have the patience and the talents and to be able to learn fast. I thank you for everything that you have given me. You know, it's very important that we give God his recognition because, you know, we sit here and think that we can do stuff out of our own self-effort, and we cannot. When you start doing stuff out of your own self-effort, it does not go well. It does not. That's not saying that, you know, when God has given you a blueprint or whatever, that things are going to go smooth and stuff like that. It goes smooth for the most part, but there are going to be trials and tribulations that you have to overcome because it's all about faith. You just got to keep your eye on him. So yeah, like I said, you know, I just want to magnify God in everything that I do. So, you know, if you also want to magnify the Lord, you know, just let him know that. And just, you know, part of that is just giving him that recognition, like I said. So now that I am approaching the end of the encapsulation, I just got one more finger after that ring finger. You want to twist your fingers, not like very hard, but you want to twist the fingers and just make sure that you're looking at it from the side so you can see how thick you're applying it. And you also want to make sure there's no lumps or bumps and, you know, stuff like that. So you just have to add extra piece where that little dent is if you have a dent. And like I said, you're just going to pat, pat, pat. You see, if you drag too much while you're laying that acrylic, it's just going to wipe it all away. So that's just me cleaning my brush. Always, always, always clean your brush. I cannot say this enough. Clean that brush. So the pink that I use is going to be Cover Flamingo by Young Nails. And then, like I said, that white is going to be by Kathy's Nail Lab. It's the glow in the dark white. And that is the first hand that I did. And we're going to get right into the filing. All right, fast forwarding a little bit to talk about the shaping of a stiletto. If you're going to shape a stiletto, you need to shape that stiletto, okay? I want to be able to eat my food with my hands like it's a fork. I want it to pierce through some chicken, some steak, my baked potato, my salad, okay? Just playing. But yeah, you want this to be very sharp. And, you know, like I said, this is just a personal preference of mine. When I shape stilettos, I like them to be very sharp. So, you know, you also want to talk to your client. You know, some clients have different things that they do to where they can't have it very sharp like that. So, you know, just let them know how you shape, and if they want it dull at the top, as much as it kills you to do it, you have to dull it. So this is just me shaping. You have to put in some elbow grease to get it sharp like that. Okay, so boom, on to the next part. Now we got sanding band on the mandrel bit, and we're gonna just file away. So usually I don't have to use a carbon bit like I used to at the beginning when I first started. While I was going through nail school, I was carbining all the time, but now I just got to the point where I practiced so much on laying that bead at that cuticle and getting the perfect apex that only thing that I need to do now is just sand it away. So I just take my sanding band and still go around that cuticle just to make sure, because for me, my sanding band actually takes away some of the imperfections that I may have. So you just want to sand that away and make sure everything is nice and smooth. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but if you look at the video carefully, you see my emery board says 80/80. That's my favorite bit to use because it gets that shape crispy, okay? So I use the 80/80, and this is the hands after I went in and filed with my sanding band and the emery board. All right, and now it's time to decorate the nails. So the rhinestone glue that I like to use is by Markartt. I like their brand. Also, I like Zule's nails. She has a great nail glue. So I'm just gluing some little Hello Kitty charms on the nails and letting that cure. And if you look carefully, the white tip of the nail has turned purple. And that is the color that Kathy's Nail Lab white acrylic, that's the color that it turns when is cured underneath the UV light. And also her acrylics are sun activated as well. So if you're out in the sun and the sun is hitting your nails, when you go back in, it's gonna like glow. Like, I love her glow in the darks. Okay, and in just a few seconds, you're going to see your hand come out and you're going to see that glow. Look at that. Just imagine it with the lights off, y'all. Like, it was so vibrant. So, I didn't add too many charms of Hello Kitty. I just wanted it to be just like a pop of Hello Kitty. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take some of that Markartt glue, and I'm going to make a line down the middle of that ring finger, and I'm going to add a few pieces of nail caviar, And I'm going to add some glitter to it. Okay, and now it's time for the thumb and the pinky. So what I decided to do, instead of, adding so much glitter to the rest, the nails that doesn't have anything on them, what I decided to do is just add a little pop of rhinestone to the cuticle area. So I'm just taking that Markartt glue and just lining it around that cuticle and just adding a few pieces of rhinestones just around that cuticle. Okay, and now these are what the nails look like, and now I'm just applying cuticle oil around those cuticles so they don't look so dry. And that is also to benefit your cuticles as well. You always want to keep oil around your cuticles so they don't, rip and tear apart. You always want your cuticles to be nice and moisturized. All right, these how the nails turned out, and I'm so happy these turned out so well. I love doing little sets like these, just with like a little pop of rhinestone And I thank everybody that watched this video all the way to the end. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And just be on the lookout for more content. God bless everyone, and I hope everyone has an amazing day.